Hi, welcome to ShowMeTheCurry.com. I'm Hital.
I'm Anuja, and today we're going to show you how to make Kottayam fish curry. Now this is a dish that I had in Chennai when I was there over the summer, and there's a chef over there, Chef Ratan from the Marriott Hotel. He made it for me and it was just fantastic. So we thought we'll share it with you, and of course he shared his recipe. Great recipe and very easy to make. So let's get started.
So for this recipe, we're using tilapia fillets, and of course the fillets don't have any bones, so we've cut them into bite-sized pieces. Traditionally, the fish that is used by the locals is actually pomfret, so if you can get your hands on some pomfret, then that'll be perfect for this recipe. Otherwise, you can use any fish that you like or is available for you.
And you just kind of need a little firmer fish than, you don't want something too flaky that'll just fall into the gravy. It is gravy, it is going to cook for a little longer time than, just sauteing, so just keep that in mind.
So here are a few of the ingredients that we're going to use for this recipe. It's one small onion that we've just sliced and made the cut right through the middle of the onion, so the pieces or the slices aren't really long, but just like small bite size.
And we have a medium-sized tomato over here. Again, we've cut it the same way as we did to the onions.
We have about a tablespoon and a half of minced ginger.
And we have some green chilies, minced to taste.
We also have some fresh curry patta or curry leaves. We have 2 sprigs. We're going to use one inside the gravy and we're going to use 1 sprig over the top for the garnish.
And julienne ginger again for garnishing. So let's get to the stove and start cooking. So we have 1 tablespoon of coconut oil heating up on medium heat, and it is hot. To that we're going to add 1/8 teaspoon of methi seeds, 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds. Allow them to splutter. And once they start dancing, 1 teaspoon of fennel seeds or sauf. Give it a quick mix. And then we're going to add in the ginger and the onions and the green chilies to taste. And we're just going to add a little bit of salt so that the onions get cooked faster. We're also going to add in our curry leaves, and we're going to cook it till the onions turn translucent. The onions look done. The place smells absolutely fantastic. Now we're going to add in the tomatoes. And we're going to cook it a little longer and allow the tomatoes to again get soft and incorporate well with the onions. The tomatoes have softened, they look really good. And now we're going to add some dry spices. Before I do that, I'm going to reduce the heat a little bit so that the dry spices don't burn. 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi. 1/2 teaspoon of Kashmiri mirch, just for color, or you can put as much or as little as you like. But if you're using red chili powder, you don't need to add that. And 1 tablespoon of coriander powder or dhania powder. Give it a mix.
So we're using a non-stick pan, and our pan is really good where it doesn't cling to anything, any of the food particles. So it's not really burning, but if you're using a regular stainless steel pan and you're trying to make this dish, then sometimes the dry spices will tend to stick and burn. And if you are, then you can just sprinkle a little bit of water at this time and mix it through, and that way it'll prevent those spices from burning.
It's a great tip. I'm just going to add a little bit of water so the masalas cook. So we've cooked the masala for just about 2-3 minutes. Looks good. You can now add in some tamarind. You can use any kind of tamarind paste or pulp, or do it at home, or use the store-bought one. Just a little bit to give it that tartness. So we're going to use about 3 tablespoons. And we're going to cook it. Let it incorporate well. And now we're going to add 1.5 cups of water. So now what we're going to do is we're going to increase the flame to a medium-high and allow the gravy to cook. We want, number 1, it to come to a boil, and we want the tamarind to get cooked. So you don't want that raw flavor of the tamarind. It's been about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and this looks done. We're going to add a little bit of salt to taste. You have to compensate for the fish and the coconut milk that's going to go in after that. Give it a mix and give it a taste test and make sure it's all okay.
And we're going to turn the flame down just a little bit and go ahead and add the fish in.
And gently mix it in. Now it is fish. Fish cooks really fast, so keep that in mind. This one will need about 3 minutes maximum. And I think pomfret, depending on the size, it'll need not more than 4 or 5 minutes. Increase the heat a little bit more. You want the boil to be there, like a gentle boil. And just make sure all your fish is inside the gravy, otherwise it will not cook and it will not absorb any of the flavors.
So if you wanted to make the same recipe with shrimp or prawns, you can follow the exact same procedure, but instead of adding the fish, you put in cleaned shrimp and you'll have a shrimp curry. So I know we have a lot of vegetarians who also watch our show, and if you're a vegetarian and you want to try this curry and not eat the fish, then you can do the same exact procedure and add some vegetables, some potatoes or cauliflower, eggplant, any of those vegetables, just cube them into nice good size and put them in that curry, let it cook.
We're just going to gently make sure, just keep moving things around a little bit without breaking the fish. Okay, it's been 3 minutes. The fish looks done. Of course, needless to say, you have to be very, very gentle. We're going to again reduce the flame just a little bit, and I'm going to add in some coconut milk. The coconut milk really is to your taste. We're going to add 1/4 cup at a time and see how much more we want, and then mix it in. And we've mixed in 1/2 cup coconut milk, and now we're just going to allow it to come to a boil and just let it boil for just a minute. It's coconut milk, so you don't cook very long, and we'll turn off the flame.
So our fish curry is ready to serve. It's fabulous with some rice, white rice.
And we're going to garnish with some julienne ginger and some fresh curry leaves and just a few drops of coconut oil to top it all. It's just fantastic. I have a feeling Chef Ratan will be proud. What do you think?
I'm sure. It looks wonderful.
Right.
Absolutely wonderful.
You know, and if you're ever in that area, look him up. He's really, really good and very familiar with Kerala cooking. Of course, Kottayam is a region in Kerala, so he's very familiar with that region and that kind of cooking. And as you can see, very good at it. So enjoy your Kottayam fish curry and join us again on another episode of ShowMeTheCurry.com.
Adding a pinch of spice to your life.